I don't know how to explain that. That's I'm glad you got that one on film.
Well done, Spyro.
Did it auto-save my
By the way,
my token count or no? Tell me I have to do tokens all over again.
step right. Here's a base. Hey,
That's a hard rip. I gotta do these tokens all over again.
have an.
What a glitch. At least we didn't do the roller coaster yet, so it was not much wasted progress.
Have a.
Just gotta be really careful around the that magic ride there. The love boat ride.
Have another.
I would have never thought you could have got soft locked in Dragon Shores.
Higher. Oh. Nice shoot. Ready? Okay. Nice. Ready for the. Oh. Come on, back.
Alright, let's be really careful with this here.
Free, free, free! Hop aboard!
Ever since we got that one with the fawn, it all went downhill. We just got trapped in the soft lock.
As promised, here's your one.
The token and run.
Welcome to the Dragon Shores Coaster. Here at the shores, we don't just ride, though. If you can pop all the balloons on the track, a token is waiting for you. Ready to ride?
This one sounds the most authentic out of all the Norix here.
Watch out for the other coasters out there. It's a crowded track today.
It's a crowded track today. Of course, that's pretty nice. A lot of wood incorporated here. Oh, I didn't even notice that turtle there. kind of have that same sound effect of the trolley slam. It blends in with like the balloonness and the shadowing there, for whatever reason.
Good job, Dragon. Here's a token for you. All right. I'll flip this switch, and now you can run. Watch out for the other
Oh, this is a cool change to look good for the dragon. Oh man.
Ow! What?
The shadowing on this. It's really hard to see those. That blue turtle especially. Holy. Oh man, I really couldn't make that turn in there. Oh, that guy came out of nowhere, dude. What the hell? Why can't I fucking turn there? That's so lame. Oh my goodness. Thank goodness.
Hey, not bad. There's one more run. You're on a roll. This time you'll need to use the cannon installed on your car to shoot down balloons as well. Are you gonna give it a try? Watch out for the other coasters out there.
It's a crowded track today.
Crowded track today.
I didn't even have a cannonball. They could even program a cannonball animation effect. They wouldn't just send fireball thing. That's just uninspired. It's not snapping, but switching tracks I didn't want it to. to like kind of double tap it. Again? Why? I'm gonna try holding it down. See if that makes a difference. Yeah, that seems to be the key there. Oh, fuck me.
Ow! That looked like... Watch out!
Christ. Oh man, how are you supposed to snipe them? Almost sniped. Shit. Got it.
Wow, you're a natural. You've conquered the coaster. Here's my last token.
Beauty.
Want to ride the coaster? Just, you know, roller coaster.
Well, Spyro, it's your lucky day. You've managed to win enough tokens to enter the famous Dragon Shores Theater. Go on in and enjoy the show.
Very nice. These promotional posters they gave out during a convention. Very cool. And now for the piece, the resistance. The infinity symbol on missile. Forever on fire.
Try to win tokens at...
Now to acquire 2 more skill points. Let's do gulp. This should be quick and easy.
Go. Finish him off, and you can have all the berries you can eat. Enjoy this.
Not as much as I enjoy this. Got the trophy there as well. Skip the cutscene. Now he ripped his arena.
Spyro, we want to help you fight Ripto.
Oh, this could be slightly more difficult. I think these guys knew what they were doing too. Oh man. I got to get... how you fucking... They made him jostle to the left and to the right when you hit him. So you can't just spam the fireball, which is unfortunate. I mean, I guess you could, but you have to be like really up close to him, and if you make one mistake, you get hit. Pretty fucking lame. No. That's when you can spam. You guys gotta be careful, you gotta be able to dodge his attacks. Up here. How did that hit me, dude? I might as well fucking plummet now. Bullshit. How do you dodge that? What the fuck? That home's right in on you. That's so stupid. God damn. Holy fuck, I barely dodged that. How do you fucking dodge that, dude? What the fuck? Holy fuck. One more hit. Fuck you. Alright, so all the skill points have been accomplished. Let's take a look at the art gallery. So where we left off was this design. Now we get to see all beautiful designs. Robotica Farm is really well done. I don't even want to touch that. No. That one on the left looks nice. The one on the right, just I don't know. The Raptor was good. That glug design was just horrendous. Yeah, the concept art looks worse than the actual model. I think the model was really good for the genie. The shielded armor thief is kind of eh. Yeah, no, the gear grinder thieves are abysmal. The robots are alright, and the gear grinders themselves are okay. I don't even touch that. Yeah, these Metropolis designs, aside from the sheep and the saucer, was nice. Yeah, I know quarters with that. Decent designs. Cool. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they have the tie-in to the encyclopedia, Boraticum, or whatever they want to call it. So that's the skill points. I just need to check to make sure we have all the trophies. I don't believe you do. We are missing Flame the Pigeons first in Metro Speedway. And defeat the Ox without taking a hit. Alright. Let's get the Metro Speedway out first. The pigeon sound effect is on point. On point. Alright. One more. Space Cowman. I wonder if we can beat him from here.
Excellent work.
Apparently you can. Easy. And that is all the trophies for Spyro 2. Officially completed this game. So, let's take it back to Summer Forest and give you my final thoughts on Spyro 2. Now, it's far from perfect, but it isn't that bad either. It's kind of in the middle. The way the game played, the way that the flights ran was pretty good, so I want to say, because Spyro 2, I gave the gameplay a 7.5 because the inverted controls and such was just a mess. Those flights were just a disaster. I gave the gameplay a 7.5 and the faithfulness, the remasteredness, a 8.5. And this, and then altogether, if you add up the scores and divvy it out, it's like 8. And I'm going to give this an 8 as well, and here's why. Instead of getting a 7.5 or 8.5, I'm giving both of these an 8. I think the gameplay-wise, it's an 8, maybe an 8.5, and the faithfulness is maybe a 7.5, maybe an 8. It could go either way, but just to round it off evenly, both an 8. I say gameplay-wise is because it's pretty much what you expect. but there were some mini games out there that were just baffling. The glitches, it's not as good. I didn't have as much fun. I don't even understand. Let me just start over. Let me collect my thoughts, because now I'm starting to think 7.5 is too low for Spyro 1 in terms of gameplay, and maybe I just overreacted with the flight levels. But you know what? Fuck, I don't give a shit. 7.5. This one's at 8. Obviously, the glide, the hover, the major improvements. Gameplay-wise, I had more fun playing this. Why? I had more fun playing this than I did Spyro 1. So I think the gameplay already there. Never mind. Fuck me. I was right. 8. I get this 8 for gameplay. It could have been an 8.5. Could have been almost a 9 in terms of like the gameplay and the fun factor of it. What really took me out was the glitches in the game and some of the mini games being too easy or too difficult. There's some mini games that they toned down pretty heavily, I guess, for like the kids to be able to play. But then like the boss battles and some of the other mini games were significantly harder, but not because they made it harder, it was on purpose, but because of the way the game was designed. Whether it be the gameplay mechanics differed, made it more difficult, or like just audio cues or visual cues that no longer exist because they changed the design. So I'll give the gameplay an 8 there. Could have been better, could have been worse, but it was alright. I had fun playing it. And the Faithfulness of the Remaster is an 8. Now, I do believe the Spyro 1 did a better job. I never really went to a level besides, I guess a little bit of Peacekeepers was a little eh. I think there's one level, I can't quite remember, Nurko for sure. But as far like all the levels consistency wise in Spyro 1 was done so well. The dragons were done well. Like, it's not just the visuals aren't just what did they remake one for one, but also what did they add visually. And I think they had a good mixture of what they added and contributed, but also what they kept. I can't say the same for Spyro 2. It could be a 7.5, and it was probably going to be a 7.5. I was thinking that gameplay was going to be an 8.5. I predicted this before earlier in the video, that the gameplay was going to be an 8.5. And the faithfulness of the remaster, the visuals, was going to be 7.5. And then I got halfway past Autumn Plains, and especially into Winter Tundra, I started to see levels that looked more faithful, and I started to see more glitches that made the gameplay drop. So that's why I kind of even out at 8 apiece. This game, in terms of one-for-one faithfulness to the originals, isn't as done as well as Spyro 1. Hence, my opinion, my theory is that they ran out of time. They gave a lot of love and care to the first game, the second and third, not so much. There's certain aspects, a lot of it. I know voice acting was definitely going to be a big thing in this in terms of faithfulness to the original. And in all honesty, I lived with it, I bared through it. Because if I honestly significantly rated the voice acting with the visuals, then it probably wouldn't be an 8, it'd be a lot lower. But I took it with a grain of salt. I said, I weighed it out a little carefully. A lot of the voices that I heard that were just neutral, just I didn't really hate it, didn't really love it. But there's definitely a lot of voices, the voice acting that I hated, more so than I loved. And that, the cons outweighed the pros there, and that was factored in my 8, from might have being an 8.5. Maybe a 9 even, but so that's kind of like my general thoughts. Then we'll get more into specifics. I really talked about the gameplay. I mean, the gameplay speaks for itself. The fun that I had, the enjoyment, a lot of the mini games there were pretty similar. I really didn't have a problem with the mechanics. The flight levels are alright. A lot better than Spyro 1's flight levels. The awkward, like, I didn't have to deal with that glide into a ledge and hope that I auto make it. The glides was fine. And I kind of predicted that this glide here would be a problem, but it was fairly quickly adjustable. Like I adjusted to it, so gameplay wise, and then those are the pros. So it played well, didn't have much problems. Easier flight times. I think they had some gameplay changes, little minor quality of life changes that I enjoyed. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Yeah, I can't think. It's honestly, I need some sleep. So, but there has been quality of life changes in this that I appreciated. Now the cons, like I said before, design flaws and mechanic flaws that made certain challenges harder than they tended to be, and then vice versa. The making some enemies easier to defeat and many games easier to defeat, and then they made some of the bosses harder and some of the enemies harder, which was just weird. But yeah, that's the way it is. It's still an 8, it's still a good score. And visually, now I guess it'd be a good time to go through each level here. The outstanding ones that come to mind, we'll walk it down here, step by step. When I came into Glimmer, I knew what I was getting there. It was alright. Came into here, got a little pissy about these trees, but I managed. And when I came out, I saw these trees poking through. I saw what they did here. Looked beautiful, and then I was stunned. My breath was taken away when I saw these waterfalls coming in from the side. The colors here, on top here, is just I can't get over how gorgeous this looks. And then the tops here, with the puddles of water, breathtaking. And I was so excited to see what else they could do, because I seen the other level leaks, and I wasn't too impressed with some of the changes, but I really wanted to see the home worlds. I thought the home worlds were going to look spectacular, and I was right. Summer Forest, I think, is probably the best change. Autumn Plains, probably my least favorite in terms of what they did with it, and then Weird Tundra's kind of in between. But this one, I absolutely love Summer Forest here. So I came out here, saw this, had high expectations for the home worlds, and I set a decent bar for the rest. Idle Springs, not too bad. Colossus, I like what they added. Some of it, not all of it. But it was pretty good. Came into here, and so far I'm thinking positive. It's all pretty good. Coming to this area here, this looks beautiful as well. We go to Hurricos, and for the most part, Hurricos is a great one-to-one. I loved what they did with it. I think I actually mentioned that this the Reignited soundtrack version of this was good as well. Then they got to the mini game. That was more of a gameplay related issue, but that definitely was a glaring negative, and a mini list of negatives that really prevented me from enjoying this game to its fullest potential. Sunny Beach aesthetically was alright. They did a really bold move, taking down like the ceiling and the wall for one of the parts there. I actually surprisingly enjoyed that change, so good on them. Ocean Speedway, a lot of the characters in that were really well done. In terms of the map layout, it was alright. Coria Towers, decent, I'll say. Crystal Dungeon's Abomination, when they made it into a sewer, didn't really appreciate that. I go to Autumn Plains, and we first stepped into Autumn Plains. It's weird, because it was a mixture of, yeah, this is great, but then you start to get to the interior walls, and it just wasn't all that spectacular, I guess. I liked the original little tiling on the floors. Those little pieces all put together, like the stone tiling. it kind of misses a bit of magic in the indoors area, and then they, for whatever reason, decided to put floating stones in the distance, which I thought kind of really took away from the vibe of Autumn Plains. That's more like some kind of Dreamweavers or Spyro 1 homeworld type shit to pull, but oh well. The trees here, I think they did a better job on the trees here than they did in the Summer Forest, which is kind of weird because there's only 4 trees here. And Summer Forest is, well, a forest, so. Also, since we're here, I want to discuss this in the gameplay, where it's interesting. I think essentially they kind of double the height, and what I mean by that is like whatever height was here for Spyro 2 is double. This wall here is probably half in Spyro 1. Same thing of his jump. Now, trying to 1-for-1 this in Spyro 2, this jump right, be able to make this. You'd have to double jump this for sure double jump that at an angle here and be barely make it. Now, I'm trying to show you what the jump would be like in Spyro 2. You probably get up to that height right there. Right about there. The double jump glitch would probably get you up to a height of here. Barely making this. And their jump, their max jump is all the way up here. You can make this jump no problem in this version of the game, which is, it says something about the size and the scaling of this game, which is interesting. Also, alright, we'll get back to what I thought here about Autumn Plains. Yeah, it was alright. There's like, it's just satisfactory. There's not much you could do to really make Autumn Plains that much better. And all the additions that they made, it could only really take away from it, so. Now we're going to these levels here. Crystal Glacier and Skelos Badlands. Now, Skelos Badlands, to me, another glaring negative, a con in this experience. I felt some of the level design, the layout was pretty nice. Some of it was alright. And a tiny portion of it was pretty shit. But a majority of it was pretty good. The character designs, however, were really... I don't want to go with... I already went into where I played it, but it was just a glaring negative. I don't know why they decided to go with some of the decisions they made there. And I fully expected Crystal Glacier to be as bad, but no, it was actually almost the opposite. It was really, really good. The layout design. The Draklets look kind of stupid. And the voice acting, again, was a little left to be desired, but... Zephyr and Breeze Harbor. Breeze Harbor was great until you got to the point where the boats were supposed to have wings and they didn't, and that really cheesed me because it was a design change that they made, thinking it was for the better, and I didn't agree with that change at all. If you're gonna keep it 1-to-1, keep it 1-to-1. If you're gonna make it your own, make it your own. This kind of wishy-washiness between what they want to interpret or what they interpret from the original design and what they want to add to it. It's just a mess. Breeze Harbor, again, the character design was kind of eh. The fact that they put a female's voice behind Julia on this take is a little boggling to me. And then we get to the gameplay issues with the Cowlicks just completely getting out of hand. I'm missing sound effects. The cows moving and the elephants sound effects when you hit the Cowlicks. Some of the sound effects fell through the cracks, and that was another glaring one. So I definitely Breeze Harbor. I had issues with Breeze Harbor. I had issues with the Hurricane mini game. Other than that, Summer Forest was pretty much a good mix. Didn't really have much problems with Summer Forest. That's why I had high hopes when I came into Autumn Plains, and the first couple levels really threw me off. Skelos Badlands was atrocious. Zephyr was pretty bad. Breeze Harbor was almost great, kind of, but it's just kind of there, good-ish. Scorch I actually liked. Again, the Handle and Gretel, whatever. Those designs were boggling to me, but Toys for Bob will be Toys for Bob. The change from Bombo to Bob was another fucking stupid thing that they did, but Fracture Hills I actually really enjoyed. My only complaint really was that the color palette looked a little drab there. And they Scottished everyone, including the Valley Girl voices for the Fawns. That was eh. Magma Cone, the fact that they used the same Earth Shaper and then have a second one that felt pretty lazy to me. Other than that, it was alright. Shady Oasis. I like a lot of the enemy designs. Those were good. The decision to go from a cutesy hippo, a small little midget hippo, to like a big, realistic hippo. Is another thing that I wanted to bring up is that the consistency here is really again mind-boggling. They will take characters that in the original games were cutesy and they'd make them realistic with a realistic face. For example, like the Norks, really grotesque faces, and then they'll take serious-looking characters, vicious-looking characters, and make them cutesy. It's just I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, Shady Oasis was Gulp's Overlook. I like the arena a lot. Again, I had issues with the pterodactyls taking forever to drop eggs, and the difficulty of Gulp was quite immense compared to the original. So there was a combination of what would seem to be a programming errors or just flaws in the game design, and the fact that I think they might have jumped up the difficulty on their end. Icy Speedway is alright. That Parasol Challenge is a bit of a bitch though. Metro Speedway is probably... I have to look at the Speedway. It's probably my favorite Speedway. Yeah. I'd have to say it's the near perfect one-to-one recreation of a Speedway. Possibly almost the most near perfect one-to-one recreation of a level in the game in general. And one of the other upper echelon levels I would include there was Robotica Farms. They did a fucking amazing job on Robotica Farms. Winter Thunder was alright. Autumn Plains is pretty decent, and Summer Forest did a spectacular job recreating Summer Forest. Other than that, there's not really any that come to mind where I actually thought one for one near perfect. There were some that were great, good, terrible, bad. Not too many that were near perfect. But Metro Speed was definitely a good one. And we got to Winter Tundra. So we kind of had an ups, downs, ups. We came here, come to Summer Forest, beautiful. We did these all levels here, decent. And then we came into Autumn Plains, alright. And now what are we gonna get? And then we started to get Sales Badlands, the Zephyr changes. And then this is at this time is when the voice acting systems come in and beat you over the head of how lazy and uninspired and generic and shitty it is, and nothing like the originals. But then Greg Berger, Tom Kenny, are the main characters except for the Hunter's abysmal voice actor, start to pull you back in. Greg Berger is nailing these lines like he did in the originals that really put me back in the game and immersify me, because there's some voice acting that takes me out of the original feel of the game. But Greg Berger's there, Tom Kenny's there, I believe Melissa Disney is putting me back in. So I appreciate their hard work that they put into this. Yeah, so we go down from a down, and then we start to get back to a mediocre stance. We see Magma Hill, Magma Code, Fracture Hills, Shady Oasis. It starts to look better. So we've kind of put Zephyr, especially Skelos Badlands, behind us. And we go into Winter Tundra. And my jaw dropped a bit for Winter Tundra. It wasn't as near perfect as I think Summer Forest would be, but it definitely had a lot of care and love into it, and I appreciated that. Mystic Marsh, really weird design choice. I still don't know. I'm out to vote on that one. I'm not sure. Cloud Temples, upper echelon, near perfect remake. Cloud Temples and Robotica Farms, both I was never a big fan of Robotica Farms. This remake of Robotica Farms is fantastic. Between Cloud Temples, Winter Tundra, and Robotica Farms, they put me right back into immersion. I was thinking, I came in here 8, maybe 8.5-ish in Summer Forest. Came into Autumn Plains, saw Skelos Badlands and whatnot, was thinking 7.5 all the way. I come here, it puts me back to an 8, almost an 8.5. Winter Tundra, Cloud Temples, and Robotica Farms, 3 really, really good recreations. Metropolis is pretty good. Canadian Speedway is pretty good, actually. And Earth's Arena was decent, yeah. Dragon Shores is kind of a throwaway. I mean, I wasn't looking for a 1-to-1 for Dragon Shores, but it would have been nice, but what can you do? So, overall, 8 on the gameplay, 8 on the recreation of the visuals and the sound effects. Pros and cons, we'll go pros. Game played well, and most parts I had more fun playing this. Some of the recreations of the homeworlds were beautiful. The sound design again was making some good choices here and there, and yeah, that's pretty much it. The recreations were nice. The negatives, the voice acting. The consistency between NPCs not sounding too much like the original, or sounding completely different, or not sounding like they should belong there at all, was really baffling to me. Voice acting, other than from the main characters, was really much pretty much a letdown, and I kind of expected that coming in, but I was hoping that it wouldn't be as bad, or at least be acceptable. But in a lot of the cases, it just wasn't up to par, or really below par. Character design. I felt like the character design overall in this wasn't as bad as, say, the Norks in Spyro 1. But it's hard to kind of compare because there's a lot more levels in here. So we'll kind of be off on that. Character design was a little baffling. The missing sound effects, the sound cues, the kind of changes to the mini games. The Hurricos kind of got fucked over, stuff like that. It is what it is. You take it or you leave it. In terms of definitive experiences, go listen. Stick to your Spyro 2 copy, your original, and I'll tell you why. The double jump glitch is alive and well. It's great for speedruns, but not only that, it gets rid of backtracking and whatnot. But even if none of that existed, it's still the definitive experience because the voice acting is great. The original soundtrack is just better, clearly, and the background music, the little jingles that happen, aren't cheesy stock sound effects that like the Toys R Us pulled out here. That's really it is too. It's just a superior. Apart from the visuals, the only reason I'd really pop in to play Spyro 2 on the Reignited Trilogy is this fresh coat of paint here. That's pretty much it. The modern day engine is, I guess you could say, a slight improvement in some aspects, but not enough for me to go, hey, I can only play Spyro 2 on this now. This has taken over. It's just not the case. I still prefer the original Spyro 2. And yeah, the voice acting had a big part to deal with it. And some of the level changes in terms of level design had a big part to play with it, and the character design had a big part to play with it. I'm more invested in this game. When there's when there's changes in Spyro 1 that I didn't agree with, I was still more open in that, but this game I really can't stand bad design changes. I just can't. So I feel like they were rushed. You could really start to sense it when you're at the Autumn Plains. The really early sign warning was Hurricos. I think towards the Hurricos end, they were like, hey, we need to speed this up. And a lot of stuff got thrown on the wayside. And I fully expected Winter Tundra levels to be a fucking crapshoot because of that. But ironically, it had some of the better levels, some of the best levels actually, towards the end. So I'm not sure how that worked out, but yeah. Give this an 8. Same thing with Spyro 1. And yeah, I had a bit of fun here and there, exploring the home. I'm definitely gonna have to replay this and see how this holds up in the long run. So stay tuned when we play Spyro 3. I really need to get some sleep, but we'll definitely be on that Spyro tree hype train. And we're gonna see all the glitches. Hopefully the Rhinoc designs look good. Who knows? Spyro 3 might be better. It might be the definitive way to play it, Spyro 3. Because Spyro 3 has room for improvement. Spyro 2 was the original. Was near perfect for me. So there's tough competition to outdo it on this. But Spyro 3, a lot of the clunky controls for a lot of the side characters can definitely be cleaned up. All they have to do is keep faithfulness to the original designs, and really that's all you need to do. I think it should be a good game, but we'll see. I'm not entirely convinced. I see some leaks, I heard some things. We'll check it out. Anyway, Spyro 2, 8 gameplay, 8 visuals and sound design. Not the definitive way to play it. Still good though. Still good. We'll keep it at that. Overall rating Spyro 2 8. We'll do Spyro 3 soon, and we'll see you later.